can see your work all over the world from right here on this app. I almost couldn't believe it. So if I knew I was effective in this town, that was a commercial or gateway to the world. So it's almost like a free commercial that you don't have to pay for. So what happened was I started posting things that were different outside of haircuts because we're used to seeing haircuts, hairstyles. So I always believe in pushing the envelope, doing things that are completely different, things that create differentiating factors. So what I did is I started posting different things as it relates to skincare, the way haircuts should be done. I was talking on social media, I was pushing myself to do things that I was uncomfortable with. This was one of the most uncomfortable things for me to ever do, was just talk in front of people. So I pushed myself to be uncomfortable. And social media is what changed everything in my life and my family's life because it gave me a window to the world. But it is a major vessel if you're not using it. You know, some people hate it, but if you're using it for the right reasons and not just posting your lunch or your dinner or, you know what I mean, if you're using it for the right reason, it has changed my entire life. Not YouTube, not TikTok, just Instagram. But it takes, I got these glasses on now, blue light lenses, but it has affected my eyes, but sometimes certain things you're going to sacrifice to get to certain points, but it's not that bad. But social media is a gateway to the world.
I have to ask her, we call her the queen of social media because I ain't never seen nobody who do it like this. And I always say, I need you to teach me how to, brother, I got you, she ain't taught me that. But anyway, anybody here who know Kim Lee, who follow her, I'm like, how in the hell Kim do that? And then I just asked her, let me tell you a story. I would just call her and say, Kim, how did you do that video? I never knew you could do that. Oh, I just did it, brother. I just went on there. I said, well, can you show me? Sure. I'll call her the next day. She don't answer. Anyway, I want to ask Kim that same question because I can tell her, Lauren, me and Lauren will be on the phone or me and Quentin will say, we need to get Kim to teach a class. Even Aisha says on social media. She will not teach us a class. And she know we all like Jermaine, you know, I see you, Jermaine. You know how she get. But anyway, Kim, can you please share with us a few tidbits on what social media?
First of all, Bernie's not telling the truth. I do not gatekeep. I don't gatekeep. What I do know about social media, and to your point, Ronald, it is a gateway, and it is definitely a way to openly advertise your business, of course. And people, believe it or not, y'all, I want y'all to hear me. Believe it or not, people want to see what you're doing. They are very interested. I know you're like, well, I'm not popular, and no, I don't have a lot of clients. You'll be surprised. Think about all the people that you watch on social media. They're not popular either. They're just on there a lot. And so when you're on there, and I always tell people this, when you work it, it works for you. You just got to do it and commit to it every day. I pull my phone out every day because I feel like it is a way for me to advertise my business. People, the whole thing about hair and beauty and makeup is lifestyle. It really is lifestyle. It's not just about how you cut or how you color, but I cut and I color, but I wear these shoes because it makes me stand better. I cut and I color and I wear these shoes, and I eat well, or I do this so that I can stay healthy, and I use these vitamins, and I shop and I drink this kind of water. People want your secrets. They do. They want to know your everyday, what you're doing, because we're nosy. By nature, people are nosy. How many people in the room watch reality TV? Raise your hand. You've ever watched it ever in your whole life? You watch reality TV. Well, these people on reality TV, let me just give you a little inside secret. I do a lot of makeup. It ain't reality. It's just they have found a way to become popular, and because of reality TV, their social media has increased, but it's just because they're posting. So you gotta post, and I think that really helps your business. If you don't want to advertise, like you said, you have to be respected in your city. It's no need for me to be nationally known, and locally, I'm not even reachable. I still need to be able to service people here. So You know, I talk about me being home, and you know, this is what I'm doing. I did something for the Beyonce show. We talked about this in backstage. I had an advertisement for Beyonce, like y'all want to, you get your baby beat. Get your baby boo. You know, and the girls just started calling. But you have to be able to be relatable and approachable, and the only way that is people can get to know you is through social media. So I think it's a really good tool, and I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And it gives me an opportunity to have my ear to the ground, where I can hear people's heartbeat, you know, where I can see what people like, what they're interested in. It helps me, I learn a lot. I still watch younger artists, older artists. I'm still forever learning. It's a way for me to take classes free. So I'm there watching, you know what I mean? So I think it's just a good tool. It's a great tool.
I'm not a social media. I don't even know how to work it. I just post stuff. And people say, I saw your stuff on something. I say, I'd be happy. I get 1,200 likes or something. And I say, oh wow. So we're gonna wrap up in a minute. I'm gonna ask a couple more questions. Actually, I'm gonna ask this of the audience. I'm gonna ask a couple of people in the audience. What must be protected about Black beauty in DC?
Black who?
I didn't say Harvard out. Somebody raise their hand. Okay.
Essence.
Okay, elaborate.
Always wanted to go see her. Yeah. So my aunt had a salon, and I always wanted to go see her. And just going into that space and just seeing our people being pampered, being cared for, and just seeing the smiles on people's faces. So like that was an essence for me as a kid. You know what I mean? I think that's very important for our community, because if we don't protect the essence and the natural organic flavor that we've created as a community, then what else do we have left?
Let me hear from Coach Kelly. Tell everybody who you are.
Hi everybody, I'm Coach Kelly. I own the salon on H Street, and I'm probably one of the only, I guess probably maybe two other that's left. And I'm fighting for my life, honestly. Like, you know, just to keep the salon, Black community salon going. So I'm fighting, and I'm going against the salon suite culture. I'm personally not a fan of it. Just me personally, I think that the disunity is real. I don't think that you can be sharpened. I don't think that you can, like you said, and you have to have somebody pushing you, and you have somebody pulling you. And the suites, there's nobody pushing, there's nobody pulling. And so for me, I have been fighting, and you know, Vernon is one of those people that told me go to the city and get help. And so although I have not gotten financial help from the city, I have employees that I contracted with Department of Employment Services, where I do the summer youth employment. I do for anybody who is looking, because one of your highest expenses is your labor. So I have 4 people that DC government gave me. And it has been such a blessing to me. And I thank you for saying, go to the mayor, go talk to her. Because I was like, I did not want to run a salon without a receptionist. I didn't want to run a salon without a hospitality person. I didn't want to run a salon by myself. And because of you and me listening to you, I now have a salon and it's 13 people in there. And thank you. I could literally cry. You were a super duper blessing to me, and being around you in those talks that you had with me and saying your legacy is everything and you have to protect it. And so I really like, and I think Aisha told me the same thing. She was like, have you talked to the mayor? The mayor? I'm so scared to talk to the mayor. But she was, oh, this service and that service and this service and that service. So now I have a room of every summer, in the evenings, now every single day I have employees in my salon, and it has helped, so thank you.
to you and give us little tidbits on, you know, how we feel. In closing, I just want to say, you know, we definitely, everyone, just get with a stylist or two. You know, become good friends and collaborate with one another. You know, I don't even know if I never hear people even say they go to the New York hair shows anymore, or to Orlando to the shows or anything like that, because I guess you can get it all online and you don't want to go. But I love the camaraderie of other professionals in our business. You know, when the lawyers get together, what they call ABBA, they have their conventions, they all show up and they all go, they have a good time. When sororities and fraternities, they do the same thing. We can't get away from that. And we have truly gotten away from camaraderie. You know, everything is a competition with everyone. And I always believe no one does what you do. I have never been jealous of no hairstyle. I don't care how good you do whatever, that's for you. But I believe in learning. And so I don't care what you do. You can go talk about me and talk about what you do. I don't care, because you don't stop my money. And nobody stop your money or stop your clients from coming, and you just be the best you can be. Okay? All right, I love you guys. So thank you so much to our panel of guests. You all did wonderful. Miss Sandra, I appreciate you showing up, and I love your tidbit, Miss Wanda. I wish you so much success.
People, really quickly, before we close out, I think this team, we want to give a hearty hand of applause to the moderator, Mr. Bernard Martin. This man is always looking out for everyone. Not just, you know, people that you see. I mean, people all over. This man will open up his doors, open his phone. I don't think any of us would have a celebrity clientele if it wasn't for him. We wouldn't have a place to work. So we salute Vernon also for all his hard work, for pushing us, and everyone out there needs to Vernon.
We love you, Vernon.
Right here. I'm right here.
Mustafa and Yvette.
You take 3. Ready? Here we go. Supposed to be up on that stage. Thank you.
I know. We was all young back in the day. Don't he has a salon up on he has a salon up on Rhode Island Avenue. Very famous salon. I could never get to go in there and work because it was so packed.
We can play that go-go though. We can get that going. Let's get that going for a second. Hold on, Miss Wanda, I got you.
Wanda still look good, boy, for her age.
I know that this is right here. Right here. 1. Thank you.
To bring up my brother Tendani from DC CDC to talk about business development.
I think that.
And we have Morano coming up next after that. So Morano, you stay on the stage. You can stay right here. You don't got to go too far.
Let me walk over there and ask her. That's who. What's her name?
Good people, great people, how y'all doing?
Great.
Thank y'all all for being here. I'm Tadani, I'm from DC Community Development Consortium. And I just want to share a few words that it kind of, you know, underlie most of what we do in the city. I appreciate having that
2 years ago, I did.
Cut it down just a little bit. So I'm Tadani, I'm a 4th generation native Washingtonian. I've been self-employed since '07. And I'm a part of a group of people who came together during the pandemic to figure out how we could make economics work for small businesses in DC. And so I don't know if y'all remember what y'all was doing during the pandemic, but y'all remember there was a lot of corporate pledges during the George Floyd era, because we had George Floyd, the social movement, then we had the health crisis, then we had the economic. It was like a trifecta. Remember that? Remember what you was doing in 2020? All right, so this is what we did. So I'm waiting for y'all to catch our side conversations too. So this is what we did. So include y'all too. So so this is what we did. So in 2020, we said, all right, we know Amazon's not gonna give up the billion, it's never gonna hit the street. We know, we went down the list and all these corporations. And so we had to figure out, we got all these council members on the city council, we had to figure out how we can get resources and switch up the game for small businesses. And a part of doing that was making these businesses bankable traditionally, because what happened is in DC, you know, we suffer from an 81 times wealth gap. You feel me? So that means that it's a racial wealth gap. So that means that black families are starting out 81 times behind the average of white families, right? They have 81 times the more wealth. So what happens is when you get a business idea and you may or may not be able to go to the bank, but you know what closes those funding gaps for startups is friends and family money. So a lot of people, because they have intergenerational wealth, lines of credit, and access to capital, banking relationships, they're able to close the gaps with either friends and family who got actual cash money or relationships with traditional financing resources, right? And see, what we realized in DC, a lot of our black businesses just don't have it. And then so we said, how do we change the game? So we did something different. So we said, all right, bet. We got the city, so we work with Councilmember Wright. Shout out to Councilmember Wright. We work with him to underwrite a policy with DC, put up some money to secure loans for businesses in Ward 8. And then because we took cash collateral, we said, okay, we're gonna give the bank $20,000. You gotta guarantee this business a loan for that same amount because you got cash collateral. So the bank can't say no. So instead of you trying to get credit cards or doing whatever, we made you instantly bankable. You got a relationship with the institution now. And if you pay back that loan, the money that we use to secure your loan, you can just take it and put it in your pocket and keep it.
Right.
But if you didn't pay the loan, whatever happened, then it's no beef because it was cash collateral. The bank can't be mad. What we did in a small way was level the playing field because there's nobody in this country with money or power that did not get a land grant, a handout, a head start, or something. So everything they say about everybody work hard till the wheels fall off, no, that's a lie. Everybody that's really a wealthy family, they got shit given to them. They got handouts, they got land grants that are sitting on oil mines, gold mines. And their families just happen to be the ones that got that handout. And so now, when we look about race equity, and then the White House flipped the script on race equity, and they almost made it a no-no to talk about it now, we gotta keep the conversation going. How do we keep the conversation going? So what we got right here, anytime I'm in a room with people who are in the beauty industry, guess who I know I'm in a room with? Hustlers, entrepreneurs, go-getters, and visionaries. Because you literally have a competitive market, it's very competitive, but it's a skill set. Most of y'all are good with your hands and y'all are creative also. And so you have to figure out how to make this thing. So there's no more perfect audience to really be talking to about this. And I'm not gonna stay on for long, but I just want to let y'all know that we did that, and over the past few years, we've given out over 2.1 million in these grant secured loans to businesses, specifically in Ward 8, and now we expand it east of the river, and then later to the city, and then in the DMV, right? And so what we're about to do now is a program called Boss Tank. Boss Tank is when we're gonna close the friends and family gap by this time, just giving you a paid for back office. So when the sister was talking about how she got a receptionist, and she didn't want to have her business without it, like that makes so much of a difference. It's all of these little things, right? And so we're gonna pay for a back office for 5 businesses in Ward 7, 5 businesses in Ward 8, if you have a business based in either of those, you qualify. And we're gonna give you a back office. You're gonna have an accountant paid for. You're gonna have marketing paid for. You're gonna have all of these things paid for. You're gonna have people behind you. You're gonna have legal. You're gonna have all of this stuff. And then we're gonna send in business coaches and different people. And by the way, if you wanna keep up with that, our website is dccdc.org. We have not even been on social media. We about to get on social media. By the time, it's D as in David, C as in Crystal, dccdc.org, okay? All right? We can do it again. Look, we can do it again. It will be on the screen. This was impromptu, I apologize. So, this is D as in David, C as in cow, DCC, okay. So, D as in David, C as in cow, C as in cow, D as in David, C as in cow, .org, okay? All right, so it's DCC, DC.org, okay? So, that's how you stand with us. But if you go to the website, just put your stuff and subscribe for our newsletter, you'll get the information, because this is just the beginning. We are writing legislation right now. We need to get to the White House. The other thing, besides this, is that the city has a $20 billion budget. We're gonna make this real quick. The city got a $20 billion budget. You may or may not have benefited as a citizen. They making $150 to $300 million a year off tickets, right? And there's a lot of things that the city is doing that they just probably doing an offshore account. I don't know where it's going, but we're not seeing it hit the streets of the people, right? And so in terms of business and economic, the squeaky wheel get the oil. People, I think that in 2026, if we can just do something different, one thing I would say do different is carve out some of your entertainment, some of your being in your fitness time, some of your spending time and money on bullshit time, to really carve out that time and start strategizing with others, because we don't know what's about to change in the next 5 years. We don't know what's about to change in the next 5 months, because there's about to be some drastic, very, very drastic economic changes that are going to happen. We understand mass layoffs, we understand what is going on from that lens. If you haven't been impacted by it, you may not be feeling it yet, but you may know somebody who has been. There's nothing guaranteed. So the most important thing we can do is be civil. We can start learning to work with each other, and also remember and understand we don't really actually need most of the shit that we get. I don't need these shoes. When my mother grew up, she said there was no woman who benefited from the commercial acquisition fund that was made to help black people get the properties. But then when you get the property sometimes, and the bills come in and the leveraging come in, you're still dealing with the same financial institutions that's been marginalizing our communities anyway. So just because you got black folks in office and black folks in the community does not mean one is just organically helping the other, but we try. And so the way that we start getting over these hurdles is we gotta start showing up to places that have nothing to do with entertainment, have nothing to do with emotion. These are places that we know we gotta be for a specific reason to get a specific result. And if we don't start doing this, in 2026, a lot of folks are gonna be left behind. Point blank period. So all I'm asking is that DC residents, DMV residents, people start coming together to understand that if you do not start redirecting your time and attention to certain things, you're not going to get the results. You want to sit back and be like, oh, I don't know why. Oh, you didn't put in the work. You didn't do it. You didn't take the time. You didn't take the attention. So just pay attention. Start spending this time. Miss Wanda right now has a situation where she's trying to maintain her property and her commercial interests. And if you want to drop us a line on that website I gave you about that, dcc.org. DC, go to our contact form and just when you put in the subject, put Miss Wanda, because right now we're trying to figure out how to help her keep her property, because she's been in this city for years and years and years in the salon industry, creating economic opportunity for black people, but she was just so, people said they would get behind her, and she was disappointed by people in leadership who she thought would indeed be helping her manage and maintain the situation, and they are not. The city has a $20 billion budget, and they often have a surplus, and often we don't get what we need just because we don't engage. It's really easy than we think. If we can reallocate our time, then play a little bit of chess instead of checkers, it's easy. Once we wrote policy, and I seen it, it's easy, really easy. It's just folks just spend too much time entertaining themselves and not enough time coordinating and practicing cooperation. Say it with me, cooperation. That's what we gotta do in 2026, cooperate. Because a fist is stronger than a finger. Punch that brick wall with your finger and punch it with your fist and see the difference. So let's start practicing this cooperation, because while we're in competition, the people that's cooperating is what? Winning. Now, I'm going to jump up off of this. I see a hand up, and if anybody got a question, I can take a couple.
What's the website again?
It's D as in David, C as in cow, C as in cow, D as in David, C as in cow.org. And if you go to that website, go to our contact form and put Miss Wanda, we can keep you up to date with her story and the things that we about to start doing to support her. Because she's gonna be our case study to see if we can come together as a community and put our resources behind our people and win. So don't let her down. DCCDC.org, go to our contact form, and just when you hit that joint up, just put Miss Wanda, and we'll send you the information that you need about that. Otherwise, did anybody else have any more questions? All right, $20 million budget, y'all. Let's get a few. Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'm in Ward 5. Do you have anything for Ward 5? It's only for Ward 7 and 8.
We don't, but you have a Ward 5 council member who should be able to answer all of those questions.
Okay.
And you and 20 of your friends email them once a week. I bet you they do whatever you want. I'm telling you, it's that easy. Much love.
He was getting ready to get started again.
How many of you guys are excited about applying some of these business techniques you learned and taking it back to your salon, taking it back to your business, taking it back to the community? Because what he said is very important. We have to cooperate. So when you get the information, you teach another person, right? And that's the perfect segue to our next panelist. I've known this gentleman for about 10 years now. I started getting my hair cut in his barbershop, Grooming Innovation, on Rhode Island Road at about 2016, 2017. And I've watched him grow his social media presence, grow his business to a point where now he is a world-renowned product developer, world-renowned technician when it comes to the barber game. And I heard them speak about utilizing your social media, utilizing all of the tools that you have. This gentleman, Morano, is the example of using all of the tools that you have, but also developing new tools to innovate. He's the most innovative barber I've ever met. To go from 30 years in the game of doing $20, $25 haircuts to, I don't know what it costs to get this man out the house now. Maybe $1,000, $1,500 to get you out the house. I know he cuts all of the basketball players, the football players. Most important thing is he doesn't have to be in the shop if he wants to, because he's developed product. He developed IP. He has over 3 U.S. patents. It's 3, right? You have 3 U.S. patents. So this man can just go back and retire somewhere and eat off his intellectual property. And sometimes as creatives, we don't realize we can be creative in our shops, in our businesses, but we also have to create some type of product, some type of legacy. So that's one thing that I personally learned from him in my marketing agency, in my business. Make sure you have a product that's worth selling, that the people can come back for. So I need y'all to give me a round of applause. If you can hear my voice, I need you clapping. If you can hear my voice, I need you clapping. For the good brother, Morano.
Thank you for that introduction. Can you all hear me out there good?
Yes.
All right. First of all, I want to say thank you for all you all that came here to, show us support. But going
Ready
to
go.
how I approach the barbering industry is,
I know you got a
one of the
lot.
questions I wanted to answer
Huh?
on the stage is, you
Oh,
said
okay.
it was success. I always say success is satisfaction.
I wanna hear that
contentment
band,
with oneself. So you gotta know who you are first before you can go out and help anybody else. One of the strongest things that I was able to do in this barbering industry is being able to show my ability to change, to break rules and go against the grain in the industry. It causes a lot of discomfort, a lot of uncomfort for different people, but in order for new things to exist, you gotta break the rules. And it's very challenging doing that. You have to be a certain type of individual to be able to do that, because you're gonna get a lot of discord, a lot of havoc in going in that direction. I looked at things in our industry that were wrong. You know, sometimes some people say they look at a cup half empty or half full. I'm always looking at the deficiency. I'm always looking at the infractions. And you saw it on TV and said, I thought it already, and there it go right there. I was that person that used to look at a commercial. It was called, it was a wheel that was inventing. It used to be a commercial, used to come on a long time ago. But I think it was like invention for dummies or something like that. But I was always creative, and I had to figure out a way to create the differentiating factor as it relates to a barber. So everybody cut hair, you know, certain people cut better than another person cut, but I had to say, we had issues with the shampoo was only $10 in the barbershop. We had issues with the outliner blade. We had issues with the mirror on the wall. We had issues with the size of the razor. You have how long the cord is on the drive.